Hi everyone, I'm Tracy Archer and this is my presentation on school mission and vision statements. As you can tell from this slide, I have been wonderfully blessed with an incredibly supportive husband, Jason, and 3 beautiful children. Miles is 10, Stella is 3, and Tessa just turned 1. They keep us super busy at ball fields and gyms and all kinds of clubs and groups. I love spending time with them and my other friends and family here in Hayes. It's where I was born and raised and still am today. So that's a little bit about me. As far as my professional life, I got my bachelor's degree in elementary education in 2005. I followed up with a master's degree as a reading specialist in 2007. I've taught in 2 different communities and in 3 different grades, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, for about a combined total of 15 years, all in rural Kansas. I love it. It's where my heart is. I also recently just submitted components 3 and 4 of my national board, so I'm hoping for high scores come December and I can be a nationally board certified teacher. I'm really excited to start my admin endorsement so I can have some leadership roles within my district. Now for the important stuff. I believe that a school's mission statement is how you would describe your school to other people, or its ultimate purpose. It includes who you plan to serve, how you will accomplish those goals, and how you plan to proceed with the plan. Whereas a vision statement is more of a set of expected outcomes that you hope to achieve as a school, and it clearly states the highest priorities held by all the educational stakeholders involved. The role of a school's mission and vision is somewhat like a roadmap. It provides the direction to the same goal that each educational stakeholder holds as a core value. And the importance of this is that we give all of these stakeholders a voice at the table when developing and implementing these new visions and missions based on the community need where the school is located. I believe that a mission and a vision must be working together to be realized. For me, a mission is kind of answering the question of who the school plans to service, how by looking at curriculum and pedagogical decisions, and the how in regard to how will we measure the effectiveness of this mission or vision. And then the vision statement serves as the big umbrella of what. What is the ultimate goal that the school is trying to achieve or create? Together, these statements make a roadmap so that all educational decisions can be prioritized and headed in the same direction. The process for collaboratively developing a mission or vision and rolling it out is very cyclical in nature. It starts on this diagram with step 1, where you solicit stakeholder input. And after you gather that data, you move right to step 2, where you start to analyze that and discuss what trends are you seeing and core values of the group. Then in step 3, you work with your school leadership team or district leadership team to design a well-written mission and vision that keeps in mind the data you've collected. Then you present in step 4 and revise to any staff, families, other stakeholders that will be involved. And then finally in step 5, you unveil the mission and start working on it right away, branding it, having buy-in, and all the things that will help make it successful, only to go back to step 1 where you start gathering input again on if it's being effective and helping to hold people accountable. We talk about the processes for developing an actionable mission or vision attentive to values and priorities. Some of them that are outlined on this slide are data use and technology. We talk a lot in education about data-driven decisions. And for me, data use is just that. What data are you collecting and how are you using it to drive your vision and your mission? So you have to first develop a tool to gather the data, then gather it, then closely analyze it and put it into play for your mission or vision. These things are all made easier by the use of bullet number 2, which is technology. Technology can be used for student surveys, family surveys. It can be used to have meetings electronically. It can also be used to help roll out the new branding of a mission that has recently been adopted or modified. Next up, we have values, equity, and diversity. For me, these 3 definitely belong on the same slide because they address a lot of the same issues. First off is values. Each school should account for its historical information and the current student performance to ensure that the new mission or vision is appropriate and aligned with the community's core values that it's serving. How we do that is through making sure that these subgroups of stakeholders are equitably represented on the SLT. So we need people from the community, the school, parents, grandparents, business owners, school workers, all of them, to each have a voice at the table. Even if their voice isn't ultimately the one that gets chosen for the vision, it's important that they be heard, which takes you right into diversity. Of these subgroups of people, we are talking about different language barriers, gender issues, ethnic backgrounds, cultural differences. All types of people should make up the SLT so it is truly representative of the community where the school is located. Once you have a workable mission or vision plan is when I think digital citizenship and community both come into play. The people who serve on your SLT need to make sure that they are walking the talk inside and outside of the building, in person and in their digital lives. How they have stamped their endorsement on your mission or vision is important not only in person, but in their online presence as well, because that is viewed by community members. Community members view these things and see them, and to increase your buy-in, you want to make sure what you're selling is actually being worth it, and that your stakeholders are all branding and making sure that they are representing the mission and the goal in every part of their life. Here are some characteristics of some well-written mission or vision statements. They're clear and concise. They're not fluffy or lofty. They use strong verbs. They address the people who are going to be serviced. They aren't ambiguous. They're targeted, and they address a community need. They're relevant to the student needs data. They're cyclical in nature, allowing for a review and adaptation anytime that there needs to be changes made due to new needs. And now some common pitfalls that happen with missions and visions. Number one, conflicting or contending with a prior or outdated vision that already exists in a school or district. Not having an easily measurable outcome to gauge whether it's successful. Poor branding of a newly adopted mission or vision statement sets it up to fail from the beginning. The lack of personal promise within either statement shows that you're not genuine. Not getting adequate support or buy-in really makes it hard to make things move. And not holding yourself and others accountable during the entire 3 to 5 year cycle is the quickest way to let a vision or mission die off. I have experienced many of these pitfalls as described on slide 12, with a lack of stakeholder input, which was soon followed up by the fallout of little to no buy-in and no accountability for the people who were involved, myself included. I can't recall a time when I was personally encouraged to use the district or school mission or vision to guide my planning or my teaching or my evaluation. So, in that aspect, I have failed to align my curriculum and pedagogical approaches to it. I do believe that a viable reason that mission and visions fail is because of a lack of stakeholder buy-in or involvement at all the stages of development and implementation. School personnel often has time within their workday when they can discuss, develop, or analyze such work. But finding time to include our outside stakeholders continues to be a struggle. I do feel that a tightly aligned mission and vision would help hone the academic focus and be a uniting strategy for all of the stakeholders if it is designed properly and thoughtfully implemented and rolled out. So now let's take a look at my personal school district's mission, my school. At Wilson Elementary, we cultivate lifelong learners and leaders who excel academically, socially, and emotionally. While I feel like this is a well-designed and thought-out mission, it's kind of hard to access on the website, and as a parent, I don't know my obligation to this mission statement at all. I barely know my obligation to it as a faculty member. I did help develop it a little, but there's been no follow-up, haven't been held accountable, and it seems like it would be a little hard to measure. As I thought forward to proposing a different mission statement, I thought it might be important to focus on just what's happening at our K-5 building and what we're really preparing for students next. We're not preparing college learners next. So I kind of thought about that as I rewrote what I thought would be a good mission. At Wilson Elementary, we foster the academic development of children, creating future learners and leaders to be successful middle school students. I think that is a little tighter mission that would be a little easier to measure and just more focused on the next step of their academic path. When we talk about supporting the educational success and well-being of students and adults, having a well-written and measurable mission gives students a clear set of expectations for all the adults in their life. They know how they need to behave, how they need to respond, they know the expectations, and they can help keep others in line as well. For adults, having the consistency to have teachers all working towards the same goal allows for comfort in their work zone and knowing that the expectation is not going to waver, and just that camaraderie of having a similar goal. Knowing that parents, teachers, all the staff, all the students are working towards the same thing. It's a very unifying factor. So for me, the correlation is that by evaluating what mission currently exists for my school and viewing several other well-written missions, I was able to see how a strong focus and singular directionality for a school can be a driving force for all the educational stakeholders when it's properly designed, implemented, revisited, and revised when appropriate. I feel like the fallout kind of happens with the revisited and revised. There isn't a lot of accountability happening at the school level for my current school's mission. So I feel like this becomes relevant to me as I am an aspiring SLT or a DLT, and it's important for me to know how to get behind this group of stakeholders and how to really collect data from them and make sure that they are well represented on the committees that decide for what's going into a mission or vision, and being able to learn and provide clarity and direction for the people who are making these decisions makes that a powerful tool. Also, by recruiting outside parents and community members to ensure that this is a goal not just of need, but also of urgency. What is our community needing from our schools right now? And how can we help get there? So lastly is my reflection. This assignment will influence the decisions I make as a future school leader by making me be sure to be thoughtful when I design a mission statement where all stakeholders are able to be heard and have their ideas discussed. Also, to be the voice of reason when that discussion may lead astray or get too lofty or wordy, reminding people that a mission doesn't have to be long or fancy to be effective. Instead, I want to be a constant reminder and an example of the agreed upon mission to help all staff, students, and community members to contribute to their academic success of their school. Here are some things I read and gathered information from to help make this presentation possible. Thanks for watching.